Well, it's official. Congresswoman McIver of New Jersey is officially being charged with assault, impediment, and interfering with Homeland Security officers and operations. However, we have a big twist. Those members of Congress were trying to protect the mayor of Newark, New Jersey. As many of you are aware, he was arrested. However, his charges were now dropped.
The DHS also says that, in their words, you were body slamming an ICE officer. Is that what we're looking at? Is that what happened?
Absolutely no. I mean, I honestly do not know how to body slam anyone. There's no video that supports me body slamming anyone. As Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman said, we were simply there to do our job. Therefore, oversight visit and what you're watching in a video, and we don't have all of the body cam, and we hope that all of the body cam is released.
Okay, so we have the official statement of what exactly is going on. Why the mayor, his charges were dropped, and why LaMonica McIver is being charged. Okay, so first things first, what we know is this is from attorney Alina Haba. She oversees the jurisdiction and she's in charge of these cases. She said straight up, after extensive consideration, we have agreed to dismiss Mayor Baraka's misdemeanor charge of trespass for the sake of moving forward. Now, later on, we find out congressional oversight is an important constitutional function and one that I fully support. However, that is not at issue in this case. Representative LaMonica McIver assaulted, impeded, and interfered with law enforcement in violation of Title 18, United States Code Section 111A1 or 111A1. That conduct cannot be overlooked by the chief federal law enforcement official in the state of New Jersey, and it is my constitutional obligation to ensure that our federal law enforcement is protected when executing their duties. Then she says, I have persistently made efforts to address these issues without bringing criminal charges and have given Representative McIver every opportunity to come to a resolution, but she has unfortunately declined. No one is above the law, politicians or otherwise. It is the job of this office to uphold justice impartially, regardless of who you are. Now we will let the justice system work.
It was a very tense situation. It unfortunately did not have to be like that. They created that confrontation. They created that chaos, and then ultimately went to arrest the mayor of the largest city of New Jersey, who is my mayor and my constituent. And it was very difficult to watch that happen. But absolutely, I did not body slam anyone.
Now, if you are totally new to this story, you have to understand all of these members of Congress have fully admitted they voluntarily encircled the mayor as he was about to be arrested to protect him from being arrested. However, when you look at the body cam footage, there really is one person out of all the members of Congress who seems to make the most physical contact with Homeland Security officers. Pay attention to the woman in red in the next clip. It's obviously LaMonica McIver. Now, check out this clip from an external view, and you guys let me know if LaMonica is shoving or she's being shoved. Now, the other unfortunate part for LaMonica, we also have body cam footage of her making it to the other side of the gate as the mayor was being pushed and shoved and brought back to a safer area. And we can see on the body cam footage, LaMonica also still making contact with officers and saying threatening things to them.
We're watching it on the screen as you are speaking, and DHS says, quote, members of Congress are not above the law and cannot illegally break into detention facilities. So that's their statement. Why were you there in the first place? I'm assuming it was not to illegally break into a facility.
Absolutely not, Laura. Me, along with my colleagues, we have done this before in the past. We've done this with a facility just a couple of miles from there that is an ICE facility as well, in New Jersey, where we perform an oversight visit.
Now, this is a massive part of the story. Again, they were there for oversight because LaMonica, she is a member of the House Committee of Homeland Security. So, she probably got singled out as far as charges being pressed against her because she's the one who's supposed to know how to operate and how to act in these situations, yet everything unfolded the way they did, and we have everything on camera.
Hold it. Back up.
Members of Congress and any public official is not above the law. You cannot body slam, body ram, shove, strike, or otherwise assault a law enforcement officer. Everything is still on the table. I'll leave that to the Department of Justice, but it is despicable to watch members of Congress assault law enforcement, and we will do everything we can to protect our brave law enforcement who so bravely operate this facility, and we thank them every day, Mark.
Now, as somebody who's been covering this story since day one of the members of Congress who helped surround the mayor and block off Homeland Security went on national television and literally admitted to the world they actually escalated this. I mean, listen to her words. She will say, "We heard a call that the mayor is going to be arrested, and we rushed over and we encircled him or blocked off Homeland." Check this out.
We were heading back to the receiving room, the holding room, thinking that now we're going to begin our tour, and we overhear them on the phones, ICE officials on the phones, and then we hear we're arresting the mayor. And to which we said, "For what? He's not on the property," and they wouldn't respond to us, and they opened the gates and they sort of pursued the mayor with a number of officers who were masked and had guns. And so instinctively, the three members of Congress went to shield the mayor because we knew that what was happening was not legal.
So, despite the members of Congress literally admitting they encircled the mayor and interfered, you still have Hakeem Jeffries saying, "Don't cross that line. It's going to be a red line if you cross it."
Statement the other day after there was this incident in Newark, you said they better not touch our members.
Correct.
What happens if they were to go and arrest these members, or if they would try to sanction them here in the House of Representatives?
They'll find out.
What would you do, though?
They'll find out.
What recourse? But doesn't that broach a...
They'll find out.
Doesn't that go across...
That's a red line.
What's the red line, though? I know we have this...
It's a red line. It's very clear. First of all, I think that the so-called Homeland Security spokesperson is a joke. It's a joke. They know better than to go down that road, and it's been made loudly and abundantly clear to the Trump administration. We're not going to be intimidated by their tactics to try to force principled opposition from not standing up to their extremism. It hasn't happened during the entirety of this failed term. It didn't happen when Donald Trump temporarily was sitting high in the immediate aftermath of the election.
Now, something else I want to point out, basically all of the members of Congress are saying nothing, absolutely nothing at all, not a single thing has anything to do with us. Everything is the fault of Homeland Security.
Yes, we actually were. That's why I find it to be appalling that they said we were trespassing, because how are we trespassing? And then you offer us a tour at the end, which is the reason why we were there in the first place, to have a tour of this facility that had just opened up on May 1st. It had over 100 detainees. We were getting reports prior to our tour that children were there. We did not know the status of the facility or the status of the detainees. And so that is why we showed up there to do our job as members, and New Jerseyans count on us to do our job. Immigration has been something that's in the back doors, in the backyards of New Jersey, and it's our jobs to make sure everything is running properly at this facility. So we were able to get a tour towards the end of all of that commotion, all of that chaos. They took us on a tour, offered us a soda in the midst of doing this, never apologized or said anything about the confrontation and the chaos that they caused outside. But we were able to get in, speak to detainees, check out the facilities, and, you know, make sure everything was okay there.
So again, despite all of the camera footage from external views and internal views from the body cam POV footage, McIver still stated it was all the fault of Homeland Security, and you could even cross-reference the other members of Congress fully admitting, we heard on the radio that the mayor was going to be arrested, yet we just went ahead and jumped in and blocked everyone off. I don't see in what world how Congresswoman McIver really thought she was going to get away with this.
We had the authority to do that tour, and after all of the chaos and the arresting of the mayor, we went and did the tour with ICE officials and the officials of the owner of the building, who happens to be one of the biggest donors to Donald Trump. So we did the tour. We saw that the elevators really weren't working. We saw that the place was relatively okay. It had some dirty areas because they're just hiring people and they're waiting for ICE to okay the people to be hired even at the lowest levels. And as demonstrated with the incompetence of ICE in this situation with us, the facility is probably experiencing the same level of incompetence in ICE getting the employees that they need there.
Okay, so that's pretty much the story. I don't have any responses from Congresswoman McIver. I'm still waiting on an AOC response, a Tom Homan response, and a Donald Trump response, and the Trump administration responses. This all just happened just minutes ago, so make sure you guys stick around, subscribe, leave your comments, etc., etc. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you guys for being here. God bless, and I definitely saw this coming. We'll see you all later.